right, everybody, welcome into Fox 35 Weather Plus. I'm meteorologist Laurel Blanchard, and today is Friday. It is, I feel like, been a really long week all across Central Florida, and we are continuing just to kind of take a look ahead to the weekend, which is always a good thing, and especially because we are going to be seeing beautiful weather all weekend long. I feel like last weekend we kind of got a little snubbed because of course, Sunday wasn't necessarily the greatest day out there, but overall it was a beautiful day continuing to follow that, and it was just a beautiful day yesterday. It was a chilly day today as it started off, but then it really continued to be absolutely beautiful out there today. But thank you for joining us live on Facebook and on YouTube and on Fox Local this evening. So we are going to start off with a quick announcement, kind of going forward. We are starting this show at a brand new time. We started that this week. We'll also get to our question of the day and definitely answer in the comments. Also, let us know what your weekend plans are and let us know what you're going to be up to. And we'll give you a personalized forecast for any of your weekend plans coming up. Alrighty, so let's get right to it. It has been a beautiful day out there, but first, quick announcement before we kind of get going here as we take a look out there right now. We are still doing the same show every single weekday, Monday through Friday, here on Fox Local, Facebook, YouTube. And if you want to get in on the conversation, definitely join in on Facebook or YouTube, where you can write in the comments to answer our question of the day. Come on in, say hi, let us know where you're watching from. We love to see you guys kind of interact with us here, because that's how we kind of move forward with our show that we put on every single day. So we were having our show from 3 to 3:30. Our time has changed ever so slightly. So now for going forward, we are Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, every single day on Fox Local, Facebook, and YouTube. So kind of can just continue to write in. We would love to see what you have. All right, so next thing is that we are going to be seeing a lot of holiday events, and now that the weather is going to be absolutely beautiful, we would love to see your photos and videos. So send any photos that you may have of you at any of the holiday events here across Central Florida. You can send those photos to Fox 35 Storm Team at fox.com, or you can send them to myself, Laurel.Blanchard at fox.com as well. We would love to see your photos. Be careful though, if we do send in here any of the requests, any of these emails, we will be asking for your consent. So just make sure you keep an eye on those emails so you can write back to us, basically just saying it's okay to use your photo, and then we can use them on the news, and we can also use them here on streams. Definitely let us know. Alrighty, so question of the day today, right in. I'm excited for this one. What is your favorite holiday event to go to here in Central Florida? And we have a lot of events happening already this weekend, and especially because I know some got canceled or some got a little bit postponed last weekend, especially on Sunday where we had a lot of that rain. We're going to continue to kind of monitor that and take a look at the forecast for what's going to be on tap for the events happening tonight. So write your answer in the comments. What is your favorite holiday event to go to here in Central Florida? It could be your local tree lighting. It could be something at the theme parks. I have been to Jollywood, and I just went to Epcot, Festival of the Holidays, and that was so much fun. I have not been to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in quite a long time. I think the last time I went, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. I was definitely very young the last time I went to the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, but I remember it being so much fun and just so magical. And that's a magical time of year, and especially here in Orlando with theme parks, just the big city events, there's a lot of stuff happening. So let us know what your favorite holiday event is to go to here in Central Florida. Also, with that, write in your weekend plans as well. We'll give you a personalized forecast. So this morning, I'm going to pop myself up real quick before we kind of continue here. So this morning, there was a lot of fog out there all across Central Florida. So it was very, very foggy, and it's going to kind of continue that way as we head through the rest of the overnight tonight. So that's something that we're going to be monitoring for sure, is the fog. So heads up for that. It is definitely going to be a little on the foggy side through the overnight tonight. So if you are planning on getting like an early jump on the weekend, heads up for that. So here, this morning there was definitely a lot of traffic because of that very low visibility, and we're going to be seeing some patchy fog late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So heads up, if you are planning on traveling ahead of the holidays, it is going to be very foggy Saturday, or if you're just looking to just get an early jump on the weekend, early Saturday morning is when you're going to need to watch out for that fog. So here's what we're looking at. If we pop up our fog forecast, this is going to be the big thing through the overnight tonight. We're going to be seeing those temperatures cool back down into the low 50s, so a little on the chilly side for this time of year. And then we're just going to continue to keep an eye on some patchy fog. So starting at about 2 a.m., patchy fog across the region. By 3 a.m., we're really going to see that fog dense up, and that is really going to mainly affect areas right along the Gulf Coast, as well as areas right along the Space Coast, so I-95, Titusville down to Cocoa Beach, and a couple of weeks ago, I forget. Oh, it was the 100th launch of the Space Coast for this year, and I was driving out there, and the fog was crazy, especially so I live in Seminole County, I don't remember what the road is, but it's going basically directly west, so coming down 417 and kind of shooting over towards Titusville here, I could barely see, and it was crazy. I don't think I've ever driven so slow on a Florida back road. I think I was going maybe 15-20 miles an hour. It was very slow rolling as I was kind of making my way over to Titusville to go see this launch. So it was very low, very slow, but also making sure you have your fog lights on your car. You don't want to put on your high beams because then the moisture and the water droplets actually just reflect the light back into you. So high beams do not help in a fog situation. So just a heads up right there if you are planning on traveling early tomorrow morning. But then as we head through the overnight tonight, temperatures are going to get a little on the chilly side. So here's what we're looking at for your lows tonight. Of course, last night was very chilly. This morning was very chilly. Here in Orlando, we dropped down into the mid 40s this morning. Up in Gainesville, Ocala, you're going to be barely holding on to the 40s tomorrow morning. So we'll be chilly, but not as cold as what we saw last night. My dog woke up at about 6:45 in the morning this morning, and she went outside, did her thing, and I think I just turned around for a second, and it was maybe 10-15 seconds max, and she went outside, did her thing, came back inside, and was already under a blanket. It was so chilly this morning. But we're not going to be seeing those temperatures as chilly as we had through the overnight tonight. But a good news is that we're warming up for the weekend. We had our temperatures top off here in Orlando throughout the upper 60s, low 70s today. I think we barely just hit 70 today. And through the weekend, we're going to be bumping up over 5 degrees. 7 degrees on Saturday. We're looking at a high of 77 with those beautiful sunny skies. And taking a look on Sunday, seeing those temperatures lingering right around 78 degrees. So a couple of spotty showers on tap for the weekend. We'll take a look at that and time out what's going on for the weekend as for holiday events coming up in a few. Stick with us. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are warming up for the weekend. It is going to be absolutely beautiful out there. We're going to keep those beautiful skies, and it's just going to be a fantastic weekend in order to get outside. Make sure you enjoy it because, yes, we are just going to be soaking up the beautiful weather as we take a look at the weekend ahead. We're going to cool down just a smidge on Monday, but then we're going to be warming right back up as we take a look ahead a little bit closer to Christmas. So that's what we're looking at. So weekend forecast temperatures lingering throughout the upper 70s. That's what we're looking at right now. Lots of holiday events happening here in Central Florida. So Light Up Hannibal Square happening tonight in Winter Park. That kicks off at 6. I believe the tree lighting or the actual light up of Hannibal Square happening at 6:15, and it just looks cool, but it will be very nice out there with those crystal clear skies. Taking a look also this weekend, happening on Saturday, 7 p.m., partly cloudy skies for Violectric Holiday Show. That's going to be happening at the Lake Eola Walt Disney Amphitheater, happening at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Partly cloudy skies to mainly clear skies for that. That is going to be a very fun time as well. Also happening Saturday, it doesn't look like the forecast took for that, but we're going to be seeing those mainly clear skies, partly cloudy skies as well, as we take a look, of course, at the Asian Lantern Festival Into the Wild happening with the Central Florida Zoo. So that's what we're going to be seeing for a lot of events happening this weekend. Also, some other events that I have note here that I need to make a graphic for. The Orlando Philharmonic is also going to be playing tonight at 7 p.m. Mainly clear skies. It's going to be beautiful there as well. And at the Oviedo Mall, this is a charity that's very near and dear to my heart. Save a Life Pet Rescue is having their sit and stay events where you can take your pet, bring them to the Oviedo Mall. They have a little storefront there by the food court, actually also by the Regal Cinemas as well. And if you donate $15, you get a raffle ticket, you get a picture with yourself and your pet with Santa, and then you also, I believe you get a digital copy and a physical copy of that photo as well. So if you're also looking on maybe getting a new friend for the holidays, that is also a great event to head to. Okay, so this warm-up kind of comes ahead of a pair of cold fronts that are going to be working in tandem to bring in some clouds. So here's what we're looking at. Taking a look at your Saturday. Through the overnight tonight, we could be seeing some patchy fog, especially up the I-95 corridor early tomorrow morning. That should be all burned off by 7. So taking a look through the overnight tonight, we've had this high pressure sitting over us today, but as we head through the day tomorrow, that high pressure kind of scooting off to the east. So we can see this high pressure kind of lingering over here, and this is what's going to really drive this warm air from the south into us here in Central Florida. So this is kind of causing this warm up. But as I back up a little bit, you can see kind of a pair of cold fronts. So we have this low pressure system way up in Canada, and then we kind of have a weak low pressure system over the Appalachian Mountains right now. This is what's going to be moving up into New England. But these two cold fronts, this one's going to be bringing in a little bit of a breeze tomorrow, but it's this one back here that could be bringing us in a couple of scattered showers. Let's play this slow so you can see what I mean here. Playing this through, that high pressure scooting off to the east like we were mentioning. Oops. High pressure scooting off to the east like we were mentioning. Here's that very weak cold front that moves through first. This is what's going to bring in a little bit of clouds as we head into late Saturday night. Saturday, though, basically looking at beautiful conditions. Couple of scattered clouds, but other than that, that's it. This cold front here, this is what's going to be moving down as we head into our Sunday. This is what's going to bring in the possibility of a scattered shower or two. So let's play this through very slow. Saturday looks beautiful, pick of the weekend for sure. Sunday, though, Sunday morning, we see the possibility of a couple of very scattered showers, mainly south of I-4. So Orlando, Melbourne, areas across Kissimmee, you're probably going to be on the watch out for those very spotty showers. No severe weather associated with this front. That's the good news right there. But overall, something that we're going to be keeping an eye on for sure is the possibility of a couple of spotty showers. And then you can see that cool air rushing in behind that cold front. That's going to bring us a couple of scattered showers on Sunday. And with that, that's where we could be seeing a little bit of a cooler start to the work week. Not as cold as what we saw this morning, but definitely a cooler start as temperatures starting throughout the low 50s and only warming up into about the upper 60s as we take a look at Monday. So that's the big picture forecast of what we can see right here, here in Orlando. But all of these cold fronts are associated with these clipper systems that are coming down from Canada right here. So they're originating somewhere near Alberta, Canada, sweeping down across the plains, more than likely sweeping over the Great Lakes, and that's what creates a lot of lake effect snow across Buffalo, across northern New York. That also brings the possibility of snow to Massachusetts as well. So in New Hampshire as well as Vermont. So that's kind of the big picture gist. So even though we're not getting the winter weather of snow here in central Florida, we are going to be seeing that cooler air associated with these systems moving on down here into Florida. So that's kind of where the cold air is coming from. So that's kind of what we are looking at over the next 7 days. Speaking of the next 7 days, for rain chances, they're saying very, very little. So maybe a spotty shower here and there, but nothing crazy over the next 5 days. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on, not just because of the rain, but something that we're very much going to be keeping an eye on is for the possibility of, now that we're starting to get into this dry season and those drought conditions are going to just continually, slowly start to get worse as we go these 5, 6, 7 day stretches without any rain. Drought conditions are something that we're going to be watching very closely. Luckily, if the rain on last Sunday did do anything, it definitely helped out the drought conditions in the Panhandle. There was an exceptional drought area up by Tallahassee, but now we're starting to see those drought conditions and those worsening drought conditions start to sink down further the I-75 corridor. Those areas that had that heavy rain about 2 months ago now in Central Lake County as well as Central Brevard County. Those areas are now starting to dry out even more. So those are some areas that we're going to be watching for sure. And as we continue to dry out, risk of wildfires is going to slowly start to increase. So a couple of things that we're watching just over the next couple of months as we kind of continue this dry spell before the rainy season kind of kicks back in, taking a look May and June. All right, folks, stick with us. We are going to take a quick break. We'll come back, take a look at some of the comments that are in on our Facebook page, and then we'll take a look at your 7-day forecast so you can kind of get a gist of what's going to be happening in your hometown coming up in a few. All right, everybody, welcome back. Happy Friday. And question of the day was, what is your favorite thing to do in Central Florida when it comes to the holidays? Doesn't look like we're getting too much interaction today. I get it, it's Friday. Everyone's looking forward to the weekend. But one thing that is one of my favorites is to head down to the Lake Mary Christmas tree lighting that happened not this past weekend. Actually, last Friday it did happen. And it's just so much fun just seeing the entirety community come out. There's a Christmas market. They had the tree lighting. Santa came in on a fire engine. It was just such a great time. And so anybody who has been to their local Christmas tree lighting just knows how magical it can be. So it's just been very fun here in Central Florida for the holidays. And of course, TJ and I also went to Jollywood for a night. I just went to Epcot, and it's just been such a great time here in Central Florida for the holidays. So, now that we're kind of in Florida winter, I guess, as we see those temperatures cool down at night, stay in the warm side, you're quite literally needing the winter coat as you're heading out the door, but then by the time you head out into the afternoon, it's almost like you're dying of heat stroke because you have so many layers on. We're kind of starting to get into that pattern. So temperatures today right now as we take a look over Daytona Beach, 68 degrees out there. And earlier this morning, take a look at what our temperatures were to start off today. Since midnight, we saw those temperatures lingering right around the mid 40s here in Orlando, mid 30s in Gainesville and Ocala. Yeah, a little bit too chilly for me, but something that is going to also start to get, we'll probably see a little bit more of, especially in the springs, is the sea turtles and a lot of sea life starting to make their way further inland as we take a look in the near future. So right now, here are ocean temps. Sea turtles were just released yesterday that were rehabilitated off of Coco. It was such a great story that we ran yesterday. And right now we're seeing those ocean temperatures lingering throughout the upper 60s, low 70s, which is quite literally perfect temperatures and the necessary temperatures for not only sea turtles, but also for manatees. So manatees are slowly starting to make their way up the St. Johns River. And with that, we see a lot of manatees kind of starting to huddle up in Blue Springs State Park. There were over 500 manatees kind of all snuggled together in order to stay warm in Blue Springs State Park. And something interesting about Blue Springs State Park is that the water consistently stays 72 degrees there. So it is just very cool. And to kind of see all the manatees kind of snuggled together for when it starts to get chilly. So taking a look for the weekend ahead as we have a couple more minutes left. Weekend forecast, 77 degrees on Saturday, the pick of the weekend for sure if you have any outdoor events, you're heading outside, just going to play, heading to any of the Christmas markets that are out there. It is going to be a perfect day for that. Warmer, partly cloudy skies. Little bit more of that cloud cover coming in on Sunday with a 20% chance of a spotty shower or two. And then also taking a look at your 5-day forecast for that rain chance. A couple of spotty showers here and there Sunday and Wednesday. But Monday, we're seeing that cold front move through. That's what's going to drop our temperatures a little bit. Taking a look at your Monday morning into your Monday afternoon. So kind of the same gist. You will need the heavier layer as we take a look Monday morning. But by Monday afternoon, you probably will need to shed a couple of those layers, taking a look a little bit later on. So that's what we're looking for here with our forecast for the weekend here in Central Florida. Such a fun weekend with all the holiday activities happening. And for your 7-day forecast, here's what you need to know. Temperature is going to be lingering as we take a look throughout the upper 70s for this weekend. Cooling down into the mid 60s as we take a look at Monday. And Tuesday staying on the cooler side, lingering right around 70 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday we slowly start to ramp back up. Friday we even could be making a look, maybe running into the 80s. I'm not told on that yet. Kind of just had that number in there as a number for now, but that's what we could be seeing taking a look ahead into next week as we take a look ahead towards our Christmas forecast. We're going to be in for a big warm up and temperatures are going to be significantly above average as we take a look ahead towards next week. So if you're doing any planning or planning on traveling the week ahead of Christmas, like myself, I'm going to be on vacation next week, so you probably won't see me around. But that's what's going to be the forecast here in Central Florida and just over the next 2 weeks. Be prepared for just warm, pleasant weather here in Orlando. So very, very nice weather that we're going to be seeing here. And that's basically what we're looking for, taking a look at your next 7 days. So travel, if you are hitting the roads, hitting the skies ahead of the holiday, things should be looking pretty good, at least for the next 7 days. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this Friday. It has been so much fun, such a great week. It's been a long week for sure, so relax, enjoy your weekend, head to one of the many holiday events that are happening here across Central Florida this week, and just have a great time. Have a happy holidays, and Noah and TJ have it covered next week. Have a great night.